I'm still trying to assist the chairperson to connect. So as soon as she has connected, we'll start the meeting. Apparently, she's also experiencing load shedding that side. We have only one apology, Chairperson, from Honorable Ncita, but I wish to also place it on record that I suspect Honorable Njatu is experiencing connectivity challenges because he joined the meeting and then he disappeared and he has been trying to call me, but I can't take his call.
Yeah, no, I spoke to him. He's driving. He's on his way to nearest place where he thinks he will get the connectivity. So in 5 minutes, he'll be there. Honorable members, welcome. I have apologized for the glitches, electrical glitches, IT. And having agreed with the second item that we defer the minutes again for the next meeting, we go to the tabling of the and consideration of the negotiating mandates on Division of Revenue Bill B22 of 2022. We'll start with the Eastern Cape. The Eastern Cape. There's no one from the Eastern Cape. Lubabalo, we have received the. Okay.
Hello, Chair.
Yes, we have received the apology from Honorable Ncita. Okay.
Yes, Chairperson.
This one is KwaZulu-Natal.
I was about to speak about it, Chairperson. Honorable Karim is like he's sitting on the edge, Chairperson. I would like to suggest that we start with him, and then thereafter maybe you may delegate him to address the Eastern Cape negotiating mandate. But if we may start with him, Chair.
Okay.
Chairperson, I'll remain obviously as long as I can. Just to say that at the meeting on Thursday at lunchtime, it wasn't very long. Basically, there were two issues raised. The one was on their feeling that despite what Wendy had said and Treasury had said, that they weren't getting what they needed for the flood disasters, but Wendy can explain further. The second issue is the old one of the Izinduma and KZN, you know, the large numbers here. So they believe that that was something that was promised to them because the province couldn't pay. And for years now, this matter is dragging on. So that was a second issue that worried them. And the rest of the issues Wendy can raise. She has better notes, obviously. But basically, you have before you the vote of the legislature. The committee met on Thursday, 17th November, and agreed to mandate the KZN delegation to support the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. It's supposed to be a negotiating mandate, but that's the letter we have. That's it for formal tabling. I'll remain as long as I can. Thank you. And if I get cut off, I'll be back again 2 hours' time.
Can you please assist with Eastern Cape?
Yeah, sure. Here, oh dear, it's a whole report. I didn't. Oh.
Just the mandate.
Oh yeah, well, can we go down to the mandate? I can't, I obviously didn't open this. Oh, there it is, I see, okay. Sorry, Lubabalo, can you go back again? It's not so long. So they met on, okay. The legislature mandates the Eastern Cape permanent delegate to abstain from presumably voting. Can you lower the, abstain from offering a view on the bill to the following challenges experienced during consideration of the bill. Invitations of inputs via emails and other media outlets did not yield any results. Only one stakeholder, the Nelson Mandela Metro, represented by the mayor, logged on to the meeting. The limited time period, as well as load shedding, may be attributable to the negligible response, and thus the province abstains from offering a view on the bill. Restriction, secondly, by the legislature of physical public hearings due to cited physical constraints. It's signed presumably by the Speaker of the legislature. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee. Sorry, on the 22nd of November, chairperson of the Portfolio Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Karim. The next one is Free State. Honorable Mletsani.
Sorry, can I just raise a point of order?
Yes.
The Honourable Nita has been consistently missing, and it wasn't detailed as an apology when we handled the apologies. I'm a little concerned with her absence, and I just think that the committee should note that fact. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, the apology was presented when we dealt with
the
apologies.
committee, it wasn't.
It was. Lubabalo, can you confirm that?
Yes, Chairperson, maybe I did not provide the details, Chairperson, as per the apology that I received via WhatsApp. Honorable Nita advised me that her flight will be landing here in Cape Town at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it was a honorable rider, but also your concern is noted. Can you go to Ntate Moletsane?
Thank you, Chairperson. Portfolio Committee on Public Accounts and Finance, negotiating mandate to Chairperson of the Select Committee on Appropriation, Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, B22/2022. Date of deliberation, 17 November 2022. Vote of the legislature. The Portfolio Committee on Public Accounts and Finance, as designed by the Free State Legislature, votes in favor of the bill. A, non-allocation of provincial roads maintenance grants to address the poor conditions of the roads in the Free State. The committee expressed its dissatisfaction and dismay for not being allocated any funding for the maintenance of the poor road infrastructure in the province. B, increase on allocation per household in poor and rural municipalities. The committee appreciates and welcomes the increased allocation per household in rural and impoverished municipalities. C, more allocation for Free State Province. The committee is of a view that based on the ruralness of the province and lack of basic infrastructure, due to the anomalies, the allocation to the Free State must be revisited and be sufficiently allocated. The Portfolio Committee votes in favor of the bill, signed by TP Meko, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Public Accounts and Finance, Free State Legislature, on the 22nd of November 2022. Chairperson.
Thank you very much. The next mandate, Honorable Rider.
Yes, good afternoon, Chairperson. Thank you very much indeed for the opportunity. The Gauteng Portfolio Committee on Finance met last week, where we discussed the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. It was expertly presented, and following the deliberations, if I can just also note that there were no submissions in response to the call for public submissions, but the committee had a very constructive discussion and came up with four recommendations. That was that National Treasury examine the efficiency, appropriateness, and effectiveness of the Provincial Disaster Response Grant in light of the recent flood disasters. The next one is that the National Treasury should consider changing conditional grants from direct to indirect as a last resort and capacitating municipalities instead. I think they had that the wrong way around in the capturing. It was making grants direct grants rather than indirect. The third point is that National Treasury should consider revising the equitable share in favor of local government, despite the revenue raising powers of municipalities in view of shrinking revenue base. And part of that discussion as well was the in-migration into the more urban provinces. And the last recommendation was that National Treasury should consider ex-ante budgeting for disasters by increasing savings, promoting more effective mitigation, and supporting disciplined pre-commitment to provide post-disaster relief and recovery. Those really were the key points that were discussed, along with the disappointment at some of the spending that had happened both at local government and in certain provincial departments, but which was discussed at length and settled upon. But the result is that the Gauteng legislature supports the principle and detail of the bill, and therefore votes in favor of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, in spite of the fact that they were a little disappointed that Gauteng didn't get an additional allocation. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ryder. The next mandate.
Hello, Chair.
I can't see the emblem. Which province is this?
It's Limpopo, Chairperson.
Okay, Limpopo.
Yes.
There's no
Chair,
logo.
Sorry,
Hey.
there are two documents: is the report and the actual negotiating mandate. So I will be guided by Honorable Mama Rahane as to which one she wants to speak to.
Honorable Mama Rahane, which one do you speak to? Do you want to speak to the mandate, that strictly to the mandate, or the report as well? Mama Rahane?
Mr. President, let me go straight to the negotiate to the mandate.
Okay.
Let me go straight to the mandate, Chairperson. It was sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me, Chairperson?
We can hear you
All right.
clearly, ma'am.
Let me go trading as well. So thanks, Chairperson. The mandate was written to the Chairperson of the Select Committee on Appropriation. The name of the bill is Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. Number of the bill is B22 of 2022, and it was deliberated on the 17th November 2022. And then let me go straight to the vote of the legislation, the provincial NCOP permanent delegate to negotiate in favor of the bill, and it was 2. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The next mandate. Lubabalo. Okay. Can you go up a bit? That's Mpumalanga. Hold on. Oh God. The mandate is addressed to the chairperson of the committee. The name of the bill, Division of Revenue Bill, Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, and the number is B22 of 2022. Date of the deliberation was on the 21st of November 2022. Can you please go up? The portfolio committee has arranged the meeting whereby also the provincial treasury was part of the meeting, and the national treasury. And overall, both national treasury and the portfolio committee on Premier's Office, Finance, Economic Development and Tourism did not have issues in as far as the allocation is concerned, because they indicated that because it was not cut, or the budget was not cut, so they were happy with that. And we were also informed that there were engagements between provincial treasury and national treasury. And soon after this, they had arranged public hearings, two sessions of public hearings at Bushbuck Ridge and Mbombela. So we will hear from the report. So far, there are no issues, and if there are issues, Treasury will respond to them. But overall, they are happy with it. And they are delegating the permanent member to vote in favor of the bill. The bill, the report or the negotiating mandate was signed on the 21st of November 2022 by the chairperson of the committee, portfolio committee, Honorable T.M. Makaringe, the MPL. Thank you very much, honorable members. Is there another one? Yeah, North Cape, Northern Cape.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. No, Northern Cape is Oakham.
My apologies. My apologies.
No problem. Honorable Chairperson, the committee met last week and during the deliberations and the discussions, the following recommendations on the bill was made. In 6.1, it says that the committee really welcomes the funding received from the Department of Health following the review of the provincial equitable share formula, but the process is time-consuming. Then it asks that National Treasury must, in the planning to review the other components of the provincial equitable share formula, include a consultation session with all the relevant stakeholders, including the portfolio committees on finance, and approximate timeframes must be given to fast-track the process. Then on 6.2, disaster management grants do not receive adequate funding, which aids when other natural disasters like fires occur, especially in the Northern Cape. Then asks that adequate funding must be allocated in the 23-24 Division of Revenue Bill to ensure that the Disaster Management Fund grants of provinces can respond immediately to other natural disasters like fires and have funds available when it occurs. Then when I come to the negotiating mandate itself, name of the bill is the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, number of the bill B22 of 2022, date of deliberation was Monday 21 November, and the legislature voted in favor of the bill subject to the conditions of the proposed amendments. It was signed by Honorable Neo Maneng, Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Ocamp. Northwest.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yeah, there you are. Northwest.
Honorable Chair,
Honorable Dutoit.
Thank you. I'm going to first go to the proposed amendments. On page 25 of the bill,
Okay.
an amount of 111 million allocated to the Northwest Provincial Roads Maintenance Grant is not sufficient to construct and rehabilitate roads in the province, considering the current conditions and quality of the roads maintenance in the Northwest. It's therefore proposed that such allocation be increased with 10% as compared to the 589 million and the 320 million allocated to the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal provinces respectively. Point number 2 on page 25 of the bill, Schedule 4, Part A, the Northwest is not included in this rural bridges, whereas most of the bridges were affected by the disaster. Point 3, page 38 of the bill, the Northwest municipalities are only allocated an adjustment allocation of 163,025 on infrastructure grant allocations to municipalities, and there's no allocation to the informal settlement upgrading partnership grant for the 2022-2023, whereas the huge backlogs of the RDP houses in various municipalities in the province. And the last point, point 4, inadequate allocation towards safety and security, vehicles and police stations, and also an allocation towards the increasing employing South African police personnel in order to mitigate crime rates within the Northwest province. Now, the committee did meet. I've read another report. If I recall correctly, they engaged with more than 1,000 people. The negotiating mandate is directed to you, Honorable Mhlangu, the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, B2022 B22 of 2022. Vote of the legislature, the Portfolio Committee on the Premier, Finance, Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs votes in favor of the bill with proposed amendments. It was signed on the 18th of November by Honorable Mutswana. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Tutoit. The next one. Veskap.
Good afternoon,
Honorable
Chairperson. Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon, all members. Okay, you can stop there. Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. Good afternoon once. The negotiating mandate of the Western Cape was addressed to Honorable DG Mahlangu, MP, Chairperson of the Select Committee on Appropriations. The name of the bill, Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, number of bill, B22, 2022. The date of deliberation was the 21st of November, 2022. The vote of legislature. The Budget Committee reports that it confers on Western Cape's permanent delegate in the National Council of Provinces the authority to not support the bill. The reason for non-support is enclosed in the attached committee report. Move on a little bit. The negotiating mandate was signed by Advocate D. Bartman, MPP, Chairperson of Budget Committee, on the 21st of November, 2022. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Njatu. Lubabalo, please assist me because I don't have I can't see the agenda here now.
Okay, Chairperson. Can you hear me,
Have
Chair?
all the provinces presented their mandates, negotiating mandates?
Yes, Chairperson, I can confirm that all the provinces have presented their negotiating mandates, Chairperson.
Okay.
If I may assist, maybe you may consider inviting National Treasury to comment or respond to issues that have been raised by some provinces, Chair. Over to you, Chair.
Okay. Okay, I wanted to confirm that, but I see when I check on the attendees, Lubabalo, I see it looks like some members from the provinces are here. I have not acknowledged their presence. You're welcome. Treasury, I don't know who is here on behalf of Treasury. Can you speak to the issues that are raised by the portfolio committees?
Thank you, Chairperson.
Hi, Wendy.
A whole lot of National Treasury officials are here, so I'll take the first very quick stab because I know you prefer that we do it quickly, and then I'll ask Dr. Pakis and Bongani to add if necessary. I'll just take over generally the common issues that's been raised. And one of the issues raised in a number of committees is the fact that the provincial roads maintenance grant is just going in the adjustments budget, is just going to a few provinces and not all the provinces. And maybe just to point out, this is an adjustments budget. So this is not a new budget. The new budget is only coming in 2023. In February. What this budget is basically to deal, and it deals with other things such as rollovers as well, environments and shifts, but the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, 3/4 of it deals with unforeseen and unavoidable expenditure, specifically related to disasters. So the money that's been added to the Provincial Roads Maintenance Grant is for damages incurred on roads during the floods, and also for the Rural Bridges Program. What is important to highlight, the Rural Bridges Program starts this year, and it's been made available through funds that was reprioritized by the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. And it's based on an assessment done and only 2 provinces will get the money in year. That does not mean over the MTF that other provinces will not get access to those funds, because the program is continued over the 2023 MTF as well, and more provinces will be targeted through that program. And as the budget process progresses, we'll be informing provincial treasuries of those allocations, and it will be contained in the 2023 Division of Revenue Bill. Then issues were also raised with regard to disaster allocations, and maybe just to highlight funds were often referred to the 1 billion rand. The 1 billion rand that's available immediately, the full amount has been accessed, and there's also additional money made available through the adjustments budget process, which we presented. And then there's also allocations made available over the 2023 MTF for the disaster response, specifically related to the April floods, but also for other disasters. And what is important to note is that with regard to rehabilitation, the journey takes longer, and those monies are made available generally over the MTF. But where the immediate disaster response monies are made available as soon as we receive requests from either the NDMC or the National Department of Human Settlements. And one thing that we need to stress is, in order to access that money, a disaster must be classified, either as a municipal disaster or a provincial disaster. Verifications then need to come through the disaster management centers, be it the Municipal Disaster Management Center or the Provincial Disaster Management Center. That must be evaluated by the National Department, and only after that do we get requests for funding to be released. And that is generally, that takes long. It takes up to 3 months just to get applications into the system, into national government, and where National Treasury will receive the request. So that is where a lot of the delays take place. And maybe the suggestions that we need to make going forward is that municipal disaster management centers and provincial disaster management centers need to expedite these verifications that they need to do, so that these delays can be shorter going forward. Then there was also a suggestion that we need to look at the contingency reserve to have more provision for disasters. That is something that will be dealt with as part of the 2023 budget process. And then there was also a request that indirect grants be used as a last resort, and the additional allocations to municipal allocations and provincial allocations. Again, as I indicated, this is not in your budget. It is specifically to deal with unforeseen and unavoidable expenditure largely. And any changes to provincial equitable share formulas and the like will be announced as part of the 2023 budget process. And then lastly, an issue was also raised with regard to the 3% salary increase and what happens when that is higher. That is definitely something that National Treasury will look at if that situation occurs, and we will be in communication with the provincial treasuries concerned. I don't know, Dr. Pakisi and Bongani, if you want to add quick.
Team Treasury, you can make additions.
I'm covered by you, Wendy. I think we'll provide substantive responses in terms of our return. When we provide our return responses, Wendy, are we happy that the Northern Cape is happy with the progress that has been done in terms of the review, and we are willing and we'll share this with the working committee that we can share the findings with them so far, so that they are kept informed of the progress that we are making. I think everything else, Wendy, you've covered, but we'll also cover areas around the plans that we have on terms of responding to climate change, especially as it relates to the findings of our recent a diagnostic review of how we've been impacted by climate change in recent years. This will assist in, I think, in just appreciating the recommendation that we're receiving from the Gauteng province. Thanks.
Okay. Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. I'm also covered by Wendy, and we will provide more details in the responses. Thanks.
Chairperson, so the last comment from our side is just to ask when is our written responses due, given that tomorrow's session is around 4, just to get the deadlines from yourselves. That will be very much appreciated. Thanks.
Hello, Chairperson.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, okay. I was on the call. It's Treasury done. The Babalo, is Treasury done?
Yes, Chairperson, they are done, Chair.
Oh,
we have
okay.
from Honorable Ryder, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Ryder.
Yeah, Chair, you know, I must voice my dissatisfaction at the way that this meeting has gone off today. I think it's been unprofessional from start to finish. It reflects poorly on all of us as members, and I really think we need to try harder in terms of, if we're going to be in a meeting, focus on the meeting and do your utmost to ensure that you have the connectivity to get you. I'm not having a go at you individually, Chair. It goes to all members. But really, this meeting has not been constructive. It reflects badly on all of us. Thank you.
Point is noted, Honorable Ryder. But if I have to also comment on the status of the meeting, the way it has gone. For the first time, it has gone this far or to this level, and it's something that is beyond our control. We have been trying, all of us, to make sure that we are part of the meeting, and also recognizing that the meeting is important. So it's not something that we planned or we wanted to see happening. And myself, as the chairperson of the portfolio committee, of the select committee, I take the full blame for it to happen. And I only rely on you as members of the committee to support in making sure that the decorum of the meeting is maintained, unlike coming with a suggestion that are just disrupting the meeting. But I hope that the members have noted my apology, that we found ourselves in a situation that is beyond our control. There was nothing really that one can do in terms of the load shedding. It affects all of us once in a while or all the time. Having said that, honorable members, we now go to the adoption of the negotiating mandates.
Chairperson?
Yes, who's that?
So, this is Estelle, Chairperson. So sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I just, while you were offline, Wendy just requested from you to tell National Treasury by when the comprehensive written responses must reach the committee, seeing as that our next meeting is tomorrow afternoon at 4. So she asked for a deadline from you for their written responses.
For the written responses, I think it must come before the actual date on the, or where we have put them on the agenda. Can you check, Estelle, when in as far as
sorry.
the agenda?
Okay,
our
Chair,
weekly
I've just received from one of the provinces a message asking that they are sitting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning to decide on their final mandate. I think it's Gauteng, and they are asking if they can receive the responses before then, which is tomorrow morning at 10.
Okay, Wendy, is that possible? Because the other reason that makes us or made us to decide to have late meetings is to give provinces an opportunity to process the issues or the responses. Is that possible? What time will you be able to do it? Because I think you have to work overnight so that they receive the mandates before 10 o'clock. I mean, they receive your responses before 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Chairperson, that is going to be quite difficult, and it's really, we're going to already work overnight, so that's a given. But we've also got mandating processes from our side where we need to get specific approvals, and so it needs to be signed off from National Treasury side. So that will take some time from our side as well. So I would like to hear from my team, but I think 1 o'clock would most probably be quite a push already for us. Maybe what we can do is, I don't know if maybe we can just have a discussion on the Gauteng issues in more detail, potentially, if that cannot assist the committee in the responses, because what we say verbally is basically contained in our written response as well. Yeah, thanks. But if I can please suggest 1 o'clock. Yeah, I know it will not help us Gauteng at all. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think most of the time we are being blamed as being unfair to the provinces. We don't give them enough chance to deal with the mandates or what is expected of them. So if you say it's not possible before 10, you suggest 1 o'clock, what will 1 o'clock do? Because they would have not received the responses yet. They are meeting at 10. And even ourselves, at times we push ourselves to the limit. I understand that we are not only focusing on this division of revenue or on these 2 bills that we are dealing with this week, but then please do everything possible so that we don't, I can't be taking blames all the time, or the committee, that we are not being fair to them. Just try to make it possible for them to get that. And it's not like you're going to start something new. You just responded now. You know these things is just for you to put them on paper. You are not going to make a research. Can I please plead with you that you do that? Wendy?
Thank you, Chairperson. We will do our utmost best to push all our deadlines as much as we can. Thanks, yeah.
Okay, can I hear from the members? Let it not be my decision alone. I don't like being a dictator. Can I hear from the members? If I'm having a support on this. Yes, Honorable Njatu.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Let me first say that under very difficult situations of load shedding, and which is a matter which is beyond control of all of us, to say that you have managed the meeting very well and being able that this meeting is still reaching its achievement. And then, Chair, by saying that, I support fully in terms of the view that you're bringing in terms of consensus with National Treasury. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Other members are silent. I think silence means consent.
Chair, hands up and they're waiting to be recognized.
I can't see your hand. Dennis Ryder.
Thank you, Chair. Chairperson, this is not the first time that we've processed the negotiating mandates and final mandates. I think that The fact is that the provincial committee met on Thursday, late afternoon. Our program has been reasonably clear that we were never going to meet on Friday. Today would have been the first opportunity for us to meet and to give Treasury a reasonable time to respond. I think that planning the meeting for 10 o'clock tomorrow was ambitious in the extreme. I really think that you know, we can either get a quick answer or we can get a good answer. And so, yeah, I think that from my point of view, we should also ask Gauteng if they couldn't push their meeting out by a couple of hours to meet only at 1 o'clock. I think that's only fair, noting that, you know, these things always happen in cycles, and their next meeting is dependent on us having this meeting and Treasury coming back from it. So, you know, I do think that Treasury also has had some of the negotiating mandates from this morning already. One would have hoped that they would have started doing a little bit of work on them then already. But yeah, I do think that I would be more inclined to give Treasury a little bit of a gap to finish by, if not 1 o'clock, let's say 12 o'clock, meet them in the middle, and ask the Gauteng department to defer their meeting perhaps by 2 hours. I note that also the Free State and the Northern Cape are also meeting in the morning in the chat section. But yeah, I would strongly feel like we need to request that they delay their meeting by 2 hours and meet at 12.
I see there's an addition here, Free State and what? Free State and Northern Cape as well. So it's not only Gauteng. And Honorable Ryder, I think we are not trying to be unfair to Treasury. Treasury, they know this work. They've just responded now on issues that have been raised. They'll just have to put them on the paper. We can get both quick and quality work. So I'm still saying that we need to put our foot down and say they must do everything possible, because we don't want to be seen compromising the provinces. And it's not only Gauteng, it's Gauteng, Free State, Northern Cape, and others. They have planned. Remember, we have presented the program before the committee. And I'm sorry that you are also experiencing the mishaps, the unprofessionalism of the meeting. When you were speaking, you were cut off, there was some glittering going on there. So it's not your choice. It's a situation that we find ourselves in. All of us were affected. And thank you so much for your contribution. We are now going to the last item of the day, the mandate, the adoption of the negotiating mandate. Am I audible, Babalo?
Yes, Chairperson, you are.
Okay. Can I get a mover?
Hello, Chairperson.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me use this opportunity, Chairperson, first to thank all the provinces, and then to move for the adoption of the negotiating mandates. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Jatu. A seconder.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. I second Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Mama Rahani. It's unfortunate that we have adopted the agenda that we defer the minutes. I think there's an improvement in terms of some of the members' connectivity, but we have adopted the agenda, we have come to the end of our meeting. And I want to thank you, honorable members, and appreciate your presence and your tolerance. What happened is not for the first time that it happened. It might not even be the end. It's not a miracle. We just pray that the situation that we're facing comes to an end. Thanks very much, honorable members. See you tomorrow, 4 o'clock again. And hopefully times for some of us will have changed. Thank you. Go well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, honorable.